In today's video, we have something big. We are talking about Tom Lee, Cathie Wood, and Kevin O'Leary, three of the biggest names in money stuff, all giving their thoughts on what is next for crypto, for blockchain, and how this new wave of on-chain money things could soon hit Wall Street hard. Because, let's be honest, we have been talking about going on-chain for more than 10 years. It has been this idea around since the early Bitcoin days, but it never really happened big. Now, all of a sudden, the push is here, and what is making it go? A brand new set of rewards and rules, the kind of place that is really pushing old money groups to start building on the blockchain. This is not just talk anymore. People are really using blockchain as a way to pay with digital money. And when that happens, you do not just talk about crypto. You have to do deals on crypto. That means going on chain. This is not money advice. Now, here is what is wild. For the first time ever, this change is not coming from big talk. It is coming from real use. The same big groups that once said crypto was a bubble are now making payment ways on Ethereum, Solana, and yes, even XRP's ledger for moving money across borders. But here is the thing, when everyone rushed on-chain this weekend during that quick up and down price time, the system got stuck. Ethereum, the second biggest blockchain on Earth, the network that is supposed to be the future of digital payments, really stopped. It got too full. Think of Ethereum like a one-lane road with a pay booth. Each car on that road is a deal. Under normal cars, no problem. But when prices go wild, when billions start moving through, all those cars are waiting in line, making noise at the pay gate. And if you have money to spend, sure, you can jump the line. You can pay a higher fee to go faster. But over the weekend, some people were paying over $1,000 just to send one deal. Imagine buying a $2 coffee and having to pay $1,000 in extra fees. That is not growing big. That is mess. And this is where the story comes in, because while Ethereum and Binance were both having trouble under the wild prices, something very odd happened with XRP. Before we get into that, if you want to really know how the top 1% of money people are getting ready for this exact change, how they find big win chances like XRP before they get big in everyone's eyes, that is exactly what I explain inside the XRP Millionaire Blueprint. It is a full guide with a paper, picture, and video showing how the smartest money people are getting ready right now for this once-in-a-lifetime change in world money. You can find it in the pinned comment below this video. Now let's talk about what happened. Over the weekend, XRP fell all the way down to $180, and then in hours went back up to $233. That is not normal price move, especially not for a thing that just got past one of the biggest law fights in crypto history, the SEC case. Not to mention, many spot XRP ETFs have really been taken for more check by the SEC, something that under the old bosses would have been almost not possible. And now with Gary Gensler out of job and new law plans coming in that really help digital things, you would think XRP would be going way higher. So why is it not? It comes down to two words: market tricks. And I know that sounds clear, but this is not about some secret bad plan. It is about how things are set up. The normal money person, you and me, we cannot move the big arrow. We buy a few $1,000s worth of XRP, the big fishes move hundreds of millions, and when those big fishes, or even more, the trading places decide to move their stuff, the whole market changes right away. Here is what I found when looking into the blockchain info. The top 100 XRP addresses, the biggest owners, were not selling during the fall on October 10th. In fact, many were getting more XRP. That is key because these wallets are not just any traders. They are big groups, trading places, and in some cases, Ripple itself. For background, Ripple owns most of the top 10 wallets. Binance has several too, which makes sense because they keep user money safe. But when you look more, you see that none of these big wallets did big sales on October 10th. The last big on-chain sale we can follow to Binance was on September 22nd, 2025, when they sold around 70 million XRP. That is a big move, and that is the kind of deal that can push the price down for a short time by itself, but that was not during this fall. That was weeks before. So if the top owners were not selling on October 10th, who was? It points back to inside trading place wallets, the ones the public cannot see because trading places can move or drop stuff without it showing right away on the public list. They can move or drop holdings without it showing up on the public ledger right away. And if they are keeping huge XRP piles, even small changes in those wallets can move the market. That is why you see quick drops without any good reason while the basic facts are stronger than ever. And here is where it gets even more fun. Ethereum, as we said before, got stuck. Binance saw stablecoins lose their dollar match for a short time because their trading place could not take the amount. That is a big problem for trust. Meanwhile, XRP's network kept going fast, clean, same. So when prices go wild and Ethereum extra fees go way up and stablecoins start losing match on Binance, what thing keeps doing deals smooth between banks and big groups? It is XRP. That is what is so key about knowing this time. While everyone is looking at short time price pictures, the underfight, the one between old money and new money, is happening right now. Ethereum's growing big problems are still there. Bitcoin is safe money, but not quick money. XRP, on the other hand, is the one thing made from day one for big group payments. And now that the law cloud is gone, it is getting closer and closer to doing that first plan. And that is why you will keep seeing moves like Cathie Wood and Tom Lee talking open about the next step of blockchain use, because they are not looking at joke coins or hot things. They are watching the tracks of the future money system get made again in real time. When Cathie said, "This is the year Wall Street and rule makers finally became open to making again on blockchain," that was not just talk. It was a sign the stablecoin market is going big. ETFs are being okayed, and the walls that kept big groups from touching crypto are being taken down one by one. Tom Lee went even more, saying Ethereum could reach $60,000 in a world where Bitcoin hits 2 million. Now, whether or not those exact numbers happen does not even matter as much as what it shows. Huge big group trust that crypto is here to stay, not as a side game, but as the base for the next money change. And every time that trust grows, it helps XRP, because XRP is not trying to fight Bitcoin. It is fixing a different problem: quick, easy world payments. That is why you are seeing the talk change from crypto is dangerous to crypto is the base. And XRP sits right in the middle of those two worlds, between free blockchain tech and real world money use. So when Ethereum's pay booth gets full, when Binance cannot take the hot, when stablecoins start shaking, XRP just keeps moving value from one side of the world to the other in seconds. And that is what most money people do not see. They get stuck in the price ups and downs, the loud stuff, and they miss the base being made under, because the biggest players are not watching the day-to-day pictures. They are getting slowly, in a plan way, the same way they always do before the next big up. And if you look back through the info, the same way keeps happening again. When normal people panic sell, the big fishes get more. That is not guess. That is real on-chain actions. And the October 10th info shows it. Again, these top wallets did not sell. They added because they know what is next. And they know exactly how quick feelings can change when the bigger market gets to what is already going on backstage. The real money move forming under the top right now is not about which coin is hot on social. It is about where the base money is going. Because when Wall Street finally chose to step into crypto, they did not come for quick deals. They came for power over the tracks, the systems that move trillions every day. And that is exactly why you are hearing people like Tom Lee and Cathie Wood saying this is the most key year for blockchain in over 10 years. Not because of guess, but because the game rules have changed. Rules no longer mean stop. It now means okay. Tom Lee said it best: "This is the year Wall Street and governments really became open to making again on blockchain." And you can feel that change everywhere, from stablecoin rules to ETF OKs to the new plans letting big groups hold crypto right on their money sheets. For years, crypto was seen as the bad guy of old money. Now, it is quietly becoming the work system for it. Cathie Wood said more on that idea in the same talk, showing how stablecoins have become the big use for digital things. She called them the link thing between old money and free tracks. And she is right. Stablecoins are the tryout, the warm-up for what is next. Once the system shows it can take trillions in token dollars, the door opens for token everything else: stocks, bonds, goods, and cross-border pay systems like XRP that make it all go smooth. That is what most people do not get. The whole story around crypto has turned. It is no longer will this take the dollar. It is how quick can we token the dollar and move it on chain. And once that happens, you need tracks that can take big company level amount. You need speed, easy money flow, rules okay, and low cost all at once. That is where XRP's build comes in. It was really made for that time. Now back to Tom Lee's talk. He went deep into what is next for the market, saying he thinks this uptime could push Ethereum to $60,000 per token and Bitcoin to 2 million. Those numbers might sound far, but his reason is clear. He is basing it on use, not big talk. In his eyes, this is not just a uprun. It is the start of big group move, and the numbers work. MicroStrategy, which holds hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin, is sitting at around a $100 billion market cap today. But Tom Lee made the point that if Bitcoin hits 2 million, MicroStrategy becomes a 2 trillion company just because of the value of its Bitcoin stuff. He compared it to an oil company. The oil itself is the thing, the stuff around it makes that value bigger. So in that world, Ethereum's free apps or dApps become the new tech base and Bitcoin becomes digital land. And where does XRP fit in as the deal bridge that moves value between all of them? Kevin O'Leary added another view that is just as key. He said he thinks the reason big groups have been slow to fully take crypto is not because they do not trust it. It is because of not sure. The second that rule clear comes, the doors open wide, and we are starting to see exactly that happen right now. You can see it in the ETFs. You can see it in the law talks where lawmakers are finally splitting blockchain new from guest trading. And most key, you can see it in the way money-based companies from Visa to PayPal to Fidelity are putting crypto tracks into their systems backstage. This is why the short-time wild prices do not matter to the people who really get what is going on. While normal traders are scared about daily lights, the world's biggest companies are putting down the pipes for a whole new money network. That is why Cathie Wood and Tom Lee both sounded so sure in their guesses. They are not betting on joke coins or tradeways. They are betting on the system itself changing. Now think about how this links to XRP. Again, Ethereum's biggest week, as the market saw this week, is it's growing under push. The pay booth problem, $1,000 extra fees going past just to move a deal. That is not okay for big company take. Binance saw the same problem. Big wild causing some of its stable coins to lose from the dollar for a short time. In compare, the XRP ledger took its amount with zero stop. And that is what is quietly getting it big group respect, because if you are a World Bank or a pay mover moving billions per day, you cannot have network full. You need Sure. When you look at the info, that Sure is exactly what is getting reward. Behind closed doors, banks and money tech companies are running tri-plans on the XRP ledger, testing settle systems that go past Swift fully. The numbers are not open yet, but on-chain deal counts tell the story. Amount is up and settle times stay quick. That is why the short price drops do not show the real of use, because use does not move price in one night. It builds push under the top until it finally goes big. Think of it like what happened with Bitcoin years ago. For almost 10 years, it traded under $10,000. People called it gone hundreds of times. But while the price went side, base was quietly being made. Trading places, safekeep services, side deals, ETFs. And then one day the market got to what was already true. The system had grown up. That is the step XRP is in right now. Law clear is there. Big group interest is there. The use case is shown. Now, it is just a thing of easy money flow getting to use. And Tom Lee's happy about Ethereum reaching $60,000 comes from that same thing. Once big groups have a clear way to put money into crypto things without rule trouble, the coming in will be huge. We are talking old age funds, country rich funds, big companies, groups that run trillions. When even a small part of that money moves into crypto, it changes all. Bitcoin helps first, Ethereum helps second, and use-based networks like XRP help most in the long because they are made for real deal flow, not just keep value story. That is the long view. And that is exactly what people like Cathie Wood are looking at. She is not just putting in tokens, she is putting in the companies making the base for those tokens. So while normal traders look at the price pictures wondering why XRP is not going quicker to good news, the real players are getting spots quietly and making out systems that will finally need XRP easy flow to work. Meanwhile, Ethereum's full issues show why many kinds in blockchain base is so key. You cannot have the world money system running on one network that stops when cars go up. That is why working together is becoming the next big thing, linking Ethereum, Bitcoin, XRP, and other ledgers into one world system. Kevin O'Leary made another good point here. He said the next trillion-dollar wins will be in the companies that make digital things talk to each other. That is the kind of thing that gives XRP a plus, because its tech was made around working together from day one. It is not just about moving XRP itself. It is about moving value no matter what shape it is in. And when you look at what the International Monetary Fund, Bank for International Settlements, and big central banks are talking right now, digital monies, cross-border settles, easy flow bridges, you start to see why this all fits perfect with XRP's long plan. This is the kind of big change that does not happen in one night, but when it does, it changes who has money. The people who got the internet in 1995 became the rich of 2020. The people who get blockchain base in 2025 will be the ones holding big win spots when the system fully starts. So, as the mess clears from the October wild and Ethereum, Binance, and Bitcoin all change to their new truths, keep an eye on what is being made quietly in the back. Because while most money people look at prices, the top 1% look at getting ready. And right now, that getting ready is moving toward things that fix real problems. Speed, settle, clear, and world link. That is where the next big money move is getting ready. And as we will see in the next part, the people who have been watching these ways longest, from Tom Lee to Kevin O'Leary, are now lining their guesses with one clear end. This next crypto uptime will not just make news, it will change the whole money system. This next crypto uptime will not just make news, it is going to change how world money works. Because for the first time, we are not looking at a guess wave. We are looking at the base of a new money time, one where value moves as easy as info and where blockchain tech becomes the hidden layer linking all. That is what Kevin O'Leary meant when he said, you are going to see every single thing on earth become tokenized. He was not going too far. He was showing the way the world is already going. Governments, companies, even central banks are looking how to take what already is, monies, safe papers, goods, and put them on chain. And when that happens, the real winners are not the ones running after coins for short wins. They are the ones who own the tracks, the base that moves all that token value from one spot to another. That is where XRP comes in. Because the value moves digital, the more need there will be for smooth, quick cross-border settle. Right now, the old bank system can take 3 to 5 days to clear a world deal. That is okay when you are sending $500, but when world trade works in the trillions, those waits cost billions every year. XRP fixes that problem. It turns a many-day settle into seconds. That is why the big players are watching close. Ripple's links with banks and pay movers are growing quietly backstage, and each new link makes XRP's long value better. It is not about big talk, it is about better way. The same way the internet took fax machines, XRP's tech is taking old pay tracks. Now, add that with all Cathie Wood and Tom Lee have been saying, big group take is coming quicker than anyone thought. Rules are getting there, ETFs are being okayed, stable coins are getting world trust, and in that place, things that mix rules okay with use are going to rule. Ethereum will keep as the free app world. Bitcoin will stay the digital gold, the best keep value, but XRP's job is different. It is the linker, the bridge between networks, between monies, between money groups that all need to move value quicker, cheaper, and across borders. And here is what is cool. While normal money people panic about short price moves, the top wallets, the real big fishes, are quietly getting more. On-chain info does not lie. The biggest XRP owners were not selling when the market went down. They were adding because they get that by the time the normal people see what is going on, the early get ready time will already be gone. It is the same way that has happened again and again in every big change. In 1997, few people trusted the internet would power world buy sell. In 2008, few trusted mobile apps would become trillion-dollar works. Now in 2025, the same no trust is around blockchain base. And that is exactly where the next money wave will come. That is why Kevin O'Leary said the next group of rich will come from digital thing base, not from trading coins, but from owning the systems that power them. It is about owning the networks that move money, the easy flow that feeds markets, and the tracks that link the world money. As blockchain and digital money grow, the real rich will come from those who make and control the base of this new money system. The look is changing from guess to build, from guess prices to owning the tech that makes the whole world work. And make no mistake, the governments of the world are watching this too. Central banks are trying digital monies that need good settle layers. The IMF and BIS are already talking about working together plans. Guess which tech checks every box on their list? Speed, rules okay, growing big, and real world use, XRP. So as the market changes, as old systems join with new tech, and as value finally becomes as easy to move as info, the look will change from what coin will go up to what network will run the system. And XRP has been quietly getting ready for that job for over 10 years. You can feel it in the talks, you can see it in the info, you can hear it in the voice of people like Tom Lee and Cathie Wood, who get that this is not just another uptime. It is a world money fix, a digital new start of how money moves. And while that change happens, the smartest money people are not waiting for normal okay. They are already getting ready in a planned way, on purpose, in the things made to live, rule, grow world, and join with the world's biggest money groups. That is where XRP fits in. That is why the biggest owners are not selling. And that is why every down keeps getting taken by getting more, because they get that once the world easy flow move starts full, the things with real world uses will be the ones that go up quickest and stay longest. So as the story keeps changing and the next step of this market comes, remember, history does not give to the people who do after. It gives to the people who get ready early. And the get ready time for this next money time is closing quicker than most get. Now, if you want to know exactly how top money people are getting ready for this next step, how they find big chances before they go normal, that is what I explain inside the XRP Millionaire Blueprint. It is a full high-level guide that has a paper, picture, and video showing the exact plan the top 1% are using right now to get ready for this world money change.